fawns.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of fawns this year. Yeah.
So this is where my house is. right
You know,
here.
Lena and I,
Oh, okay.
when
I
we
see.
go out to eat in the
You
evening,
see all the-
come
Yeah,
home.
all the
this-
green
I'll
space.
do,
That's the only
Stoops
green
Road,
space.
McLaughlin,
It's right there. That's my
that,
house.
that area.
And
Okay,
then
so,
they wanna tear, this guy
we've
wants to
seen
tear it all down,
51,
but
65
like,
here.
I think all this will be
Yeah,
all
and
townhouses eventually.
That's
So mine
not
would be the
spotted,
only
that's
space
just the
there.
ones that are out
And
in
then
the
there's a
field.
driveway that comes out to.
Yeah.
There are a lot of deer around.
Was it like cold
Not
weather?
been a year,
No, it's,
on the trail cam,
I forget,
got a
I
bear.
forget that name. He's the only Dennis.
Well,
They're everywhere
I'll give
until
you
November.
5 right here. 50,
Well,
eight,
up,
8 or 850. It's 6 bedrooms,
Strasbourg.
1.5 bags. It's a big
we had
house.
Yeah.
walk across there. So if it was on Strasbourg, let it cross our.
How much land you got?
It's an acre.
Oh, yeah, he's way under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one bird
Yeah,
feeder
6
that was torn
bedrooms,
down and
5 finished basement,
all
4
broken
and a
up.
half bathrooms.
You did that place in
There was
Franklin.
a lot into that.
Great.
Have you seen that at your place?
Yeah.
Have you seen that at your place?
No, but they have been seen. I haven't
So,
personally.
My neighbor's seen
Get
one
a
last year,
repaint
but I
so I
haven't.
can.
I mean, right up
Like
at,
I took all the
Girl Scout
kitchen
Room
cabinets down
in Bullfrog.
and sanded them all down, painted them
Someone
white.
saw one there.
And I had new
If
countertops.
you saw it there, it went by our place.
Right. Yeah.
One way or the other.
If he's gonna tear it down,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
will buy it.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
can't
nice-
believe how many houses are on the market right now around here. I don't know what the deal is, like seems like all of a sudden, there's 3, I live in Seville, so there's 3 on my road that are for sale.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and those all have acreage, I mean, like, the one's got like 20 acres of it,
Yeah.
$850,000 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, where I live,
Taxes are killing me down there.
yeah, Maryland's,
Almost $11,000 a year. Just for that money.
Madam Secretary. You're on time.
You're okay.
You're on time.
It's like, I got it.
You're not fired yet.
Please, yeah, no, I'm happy when you said, am I taking your stuff, huh?
No, you're fine.
I put the comfy chair, you put the uncomfy.
Well, you're doing all the work. Yeah.
it did, of course, I destroyed my cell phone.
Oh, no.
And then Sunday morning, it was raining. I didn't have coffee and I had sandals.
These minutes, I find them
And I
quite
came up
hard.
the front steps and I was
Yeah,
like,
that's a lot of work.
right
I'm
down.
trying to get them to take last month's meeting where there was a lot of discussion, trying to
Yeah, flip flops are the worst.
sit it down.
Did you watch the,
No, I always feel I want to, then I
Yeah.
still can't
I
quite
don't
face
think
that,
I'm
so I
working
find
from
it fairly soon off my notes.
I guess.
But I want to listen, so
That's
my notes are pretty
it.
sketchy.
Fish.
So I spend
Why
time
don't you
on
guys
those
get
notes, I
We
don't
don't want
listen.
to go fishing, we just,
I didn't get any of
shot
that
some rounds and all,
comments, but this
did
is
some target practice, and I took, there's a cave down there, and I like going in caves. And, I'd taken my sons and two
There
of
seems
them
to
down
be a lot of
there.
last minute stuff that we received today that I was wading
So me and
through.
one boy went down for a couple hours,
Yeah,
that was fun.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's nice because you can't get cell phone service down there, so, you know, that's sort of nice, but, breaking the promise.
yeah.
Oh, this was at your place. What's that?
It's not a deer.
No, it's not deer.
Oh,
Yeah, was it, where, at your place, where you live?
Well, Boyle Road.
Boyle. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
But
And deer come.
I suspect it was, it might have been a young one that got,
Wow.
go find your own spot.
But that's not your buddy.
And it was just rolling through.
I haven't seen any yet this year, but my son saw a bobcat the other
Hey.
day. A bobcat. He has since we've lived there, he's seen them 3 times.
How are you? Super.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, wow.
They're quite big. Have you ever seen one here?
This little, two
It
little
walked right to
ponds.
the, it was chasing deer, then it hung out in the yard, then it walked back.
You're the bobcat?
That's, that place in Virginia,
They're
you
quite
said,
Yeah.
it's about
He met one when he was
6
on the
miles.
mountain, and it
Oh,
really
yeah.
scared him.
Oh, I
Must have
remember.
been a young one, it growled at him,
3 cubs.
and then
Oh, wow.
chased him off the mountain, he got a
It's
big
about
stick.
6
I
miles
remember him saying,
from where it is to like this
oh,
little
that's
town.
scary.
I don't know.
I've never seen
I'll
one.
look at my notes and see there. I was like, oh,
Where
where
are
are
you? Now, where am
That's
I?
when
He was
he
driving
was like
before.
hunting deer.
Right there, I'm going to task force. So, where are you gonna sit?
Every time we drive that 6 miles, we count 80 to 100 deer. Just
Good evening, Rob.
Chair.
Hello, hello.
Monday, yesterday, there were 2 little ponds right by the road.
Remember Rob when he was first there?
Cindy, and I'm trying to remember
I
Cindy.
remember you welcoming me
Tex.
when I was
Tex,
first
I
signed.
should remember that name.
Didn't know what the heck I was doing. Why is this Ken guy coming to live here?
Okay. So we're gonna start at 6:30.
Just.
My buddy lives a couple miles.
I just
So we loaded up my son's Ford
I didn't turn my
Ranger.
computer
with all
on.
our stuff. But my buddy was driving because he had a bigger truck than trailer.
She concurs.
Well, Ford Ranger single cab. So I hopped in the back on top of all this stuff for a couple miles.
There's nothing.
And
Oh.
I set my phone down
Yeah.
in the top of
We're
this
gonna be
bucket.
talking about
That had a
some
bunch of clean stuff in it. What I didn't realize was there was
That part
So
of
at some point it fell down.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
But then, in addition to the water, like the whole screen was feeling. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah. which I
It must have been clean products or something.
I don't know, but it was just.
Oh, it's like you have insurance on it.
I didn't get it on this because I had to replace the phone for like 4 or 5 years. I'm not in construction anymore, you know, like I'm not out on job sites, like clean neighbors anymore and stuff, so like, of course, that's, you know. And I took it to a repair guy and he's like, wow, with this older phone, it's gonna cost you probably just as much to repair it as if you just go and.
Okay, so 6:30-ish, so we're gonna call the meeting to order.
Yes, I'll do
You
it.
got the attendance,
I will get the attendant. Rich?
Ryan?
Yes. Luther?
Here.
Don? Yes. Ken?
Yes.
Very good. Are you-
Sherry's not gonna be here.
Yes, I've got that all written down. Very good.
Okay. So first is the minutes from the last meeting. After looking at it, I did have one minor change.
Okay.
Right at the very end,
Yes.
where you said Ken made a motion to adopt the revised
Okay.
amendment. We don't adopt it.
Oh, okay.
Where he made a motion to recommend adoption.
Sorry, you are so correct. I will correct that and then with a correct, conditional upon that correction.
I'll make a motion to accept based on the correction.
So it'll be Ken made a motion to recommend to adopt. That's all I need to put in.
Recommend the supervisor adopt, and you had said that would be. Just so we're making a recommendation.
Of course, no, I should have known that.
So, was there a second?
Kim already
He
did.
made the motion.
I made the motion.
Okay. So you got Ken made the motion,
Yes.
move for second
Conditional.
on that repair.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll do that. Under old business, for the joint comprehensive plan, we did meet, so we had this kickoff meeting, and, Rob, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to it.
Yeah, maybe just a quick little thing. You know, we did have the kickoff meeting for the project. Representatives from all 6 municipalities were in attendance. It was, you know, in the spirit of kickoff meetings, it was truly a project kickoff. We were trying to figure out who we all were, make sure that everybody had a copy of the you know, the work plan, and we went around the table and each representative had a chance to talk about you know, potential issues that each municipality might have. The important thing to convey to the group for tonight's meeting is a little bit on the process on how this is going to go forward. The steering committee members, including me, you know, sort of concurred that what we would do is, as we start producing, you know, information that needs to be reviewed by the steering committee, what we're actually going to do is it's going to be sent out in advance to the municipalities, and each representative, you know, each municipal representative will have a chance to, you know, prior to the committee meeting, will have a chance to review the material with each municipal planning commission. So you guys as a planning commission will see the material that the steering committee is going to review for the next meeting, and have an opportunity to convey comments back to the process through your committee representatives. So that's how that's how we're going to try to make this work for the moment. The first slug of information to review, which is going to be basically existing conditions stuff, demographic information, and the existing land use map and analysis. And that's going to be distributed to all the municipalities within the week, so you'll have that in time for your next planning commission meeting. You know, if you want to take a look at it, and then convey comments or thoughts back to the steering committee to discuss. So again, that's pretty much where we left it. I mean, it was as much a meeting talking about the process that we're going to go through as much as issues and so forth. But start getting your hands dirty next steering committee, and with a slug of information coming to you guys before you know, for your look-see before it gets to the steering committee. So I'll leave it there, Rich.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Andrew Mitchell property, I think we just need a motion to table it.
You didn't do public comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Public comment. No. That's why I didn't do it.
Now it's official. No comments.
I would make a motion to table the Andrew Mitchell project.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
That brings us to the.
So who seconded that one? We did.
So that moves us to this operation second change.
Yeah, I mean, they're here, they can, if they, you know, they can speak. What I could say is we got the revised plan last week. I forget, Thursday or Friday, something like that. Knowing that there was the meeting coming up, we reviewed it. We have what I'll call some, more or less just some house cleaning items left. There is sign the plan, financial security, an as-built plan, a typo on the signature block, and a couple minor stormwater management comments left. I would not object if you chose to conditionally approve it based on KPI's letter of August 17th. And again, I'm not sure if Tex or you have anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, actually, even beyond your letter, I received that and we were able to get those things addressed today. We just haven't been able to print out.
I got your email. Well, I got email from Wendy with the revised plans. That was today. Just had no time to re-review these last couple.
Right.
Again, I'll call them house cleaning items. There's nothing major there.
I'd make a recommendation, motion to,
Rob, were you doing any additional review?
No, there's no review, additional review from our office that's necessary for the plan.
Go ahead.
I'd make a motion to conditionally approve based on the KPI, comments of, August the 17th.
You have that all?
Big Mac.
And the letter was, the items to be addressed.
August 17th.
That's
KPI.
Yeah, KPI letter, well, I read it, I just couldn't remember the detail, the date, August 17th. So, conditional on all these issues being met, which you say actually have been more or less met, conditionally approve. So what are we exactly approving?
We're approving to be sent to.
We're recommending approval.
We are
Recommending
condition-
approval to the
Recommending.
Board of Supervisors.
Recommending,
Conditional approval.
conditional approval, as long as all these items are met. Okay. So I'm trying to get the wording right, don't laugh, he catches me out when I get it
You'll get
wrong.
it, I trust you. I have faith in the process.
And Luther, did you say a second? Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So now, do you have any comments?
And then the supervisors meeting is September 3rd,
Yes.
or something like that. It's the first Wednesday of the month.
Yep.
And then hopefully you get conditional approval, or maybe probably just conditional approval at that meeting.
It's the second, will be the
This
second.
must be the second, Wednesday, the second.
Yeah, we'll plan to have the estimate for surety over to you guys probably this week sometime, to Wendy, and try to get all those other ducks in a row for sure.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Is the issue with the zoning ordinance and retreat centers still an issue?
Not with this plan. They registered their property as non-conforming, which it is. So it took away some of the zoning issues. When we do the next amendment, we're going to add in a retreat center as a use. This way, next time they wanna add a building, they're not going through this whole issue.
So there's no sense of urgency?
Unless, no.
Okay, that's. So,
Does that get talked about tonight?
We have nothing else to say to you. I mean, you're
Oh, okay.
more than welcome to stay.
No, I mean about the non-conforming, that's okay now, right?
Right, you
Oh.
register your property,
Okay.
so it took away some of the zoning issues we had, which is a big plus. They don't have to go to the zoning hearing board.
Okay,
But we are gonna make a change to the zoning ordinance that adds in a retreat center
okay,
as a use
okay,
into the zoning ordinance. This way, if again, in 2-3 years you wanna do something else, hopefully then we're not going through that whole bit of you have to go to the zoning hearing board,
okay,
etc.
okay, great,
We'll have some standards there.
okay. That's it, that's it for us, right?
that's it.
We'll chat here later. Let's go to your meeting. Thank you so much.
And you missed a lot of excitement.
Bless each of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the next one, there was a proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance to deal with the retreat centers and also removing the conservation buffer zone. That, based on county comments that's not on the table to review. But Rob is here for me, kind of ask questions, go through like, what are the issues here, based on maybe your letter to kind of talk about that.
Well,
And then if you guys have specific questions related, it's a way of us developing a better understanding of the
I mean, in the interest of understanding if this is being recorded and there isn't misinformation going out in the public, I was informed that we're not gonna go forward with that last amendment. I was asked to redo the amendment that keeps in some conservation by design criteria and not eliminate it completely. So I have no issue with Rob giving, talking all, but I don't know if it would be accurate if he says, well, you're getting rid of it, and then that's going out online, and that's, the last I was told is they're not gonna completely get rid of it. They are going to keep aspects of conservation by design. I didn't finish the draft. We are gonna continue keeping the adjusted track approach. We're gonna, currently now you have 5 options in each district. We're gonna drop that down to most likely 3, because you have a couple options that in 20 some years have never been utilized. So we're not sure if they just make sense if no one ever uses them. And we're gonna beef up some of the language in protecting prime ag soils. So I think that's probably a little bit more accurate than to say we're getting rid of conservation by design completely and letting that go out for people to misconstrue what is the new focus.
You are spot on. I completely agree with you that that's it.
Okay. So before, I didn't want to cut anybody off, but I wanted Rob to be aware where the township stands right now.
So you're saying you're sort of redefining, you're restating, or you're limiting, what were the words you used at the beginning when you were doing with conservation by design? You're not eliminating it, but you were...
We're just gonna I don't wanna say rework it, reword it. We're gonna take away some things that just haven't been working and / that people just don't utilize. Like I said, each district now currently has 5 options. The 4 that you're probably most familiar with, and then the brand new one that says 10 acres and less, you don't have to do conservation by design. We're gonna end up most likely having 3 options in each ag and conservation district. I haven't finished it, so I don't have all the details. And then we're also gonna strengthen the language in trying to preserve prime agricultural soils. Whereas it was pretty vague before, really not much, it was just conserved land, but there's nothing that really said you must try to preserve prime farm soils. It was just, that's a good thing to do. We're gonna actually put in language that says you're going to preserve a percentage of prime farm soils regardless. So again, it's not done, so I don't have all the information to tell you. I just started on it. I was just asked last week to begin it. My goal is to have the first rough draft finished for the supervisors meeting so they can start looking at it and getting input, and then of course has to go through the whole process of going back to the county, coming to you guys, et cetera, et cetera.
One last question. So you're talking about strengthening protections for the preservation of like agricultural soil.
No.
Agricultural.
Prime.
Prime.
Soils are classified.
Wrong
So-
choice of word. Prime
Yeah.
agricultural land, etc., etc. But not particularly. You're not focusing so much on rural for the conservation. It's just agricultural.
Well, you have two districts. So you have the agricultural district,
understand that.
and we're gonna have different set of rules for that one as you do
I
the
understand
conservation
that. You
district.
said you were going to be focusing on that rather than
Yes,
the
we are going to
conservation.
focus in on
Okay.
preserving prime agricultural
Okay,
soils.
that was my
Do
question.
we
Yeah.
have prime agriculture soils?
You probably don't have much
Yeah.
in the township, but you do have some, cause it's almost impossible not to have any. And again, it's a classification, it's the actual classification, prime ag soils is like the top tier of soils. So there's a whole list out of Adams County's soil book that were deemed prime ag soils. So our focus in, as to what Rob pointed out, what the MPC points out, we should try to protect them, so we're gonna beef up the language to try to protect them, whereas before, it really wasn't in there to say you must do this or must do that. It was just conserve 70% or 80 or 60, whatever the number was, and that was that. We're gonna actually beef that section up.
So what will be the role of the planning commission and the county in this process?
It'll be the same thing, cause once the draft is done, and if the supervisors see the draft and they say, yeah, this is what we like, they're gonna have to send it back to county for comment, they're gonna have to send it back to you for recommendation. The same thing we were doing previously, it's gonna happen again. We're just not gonna eliminate the conservation by design completely. That's why they pulled it off of the agenda and basically said it's done, it's dead deal. We're not gonna go forward with that. We're gonna bend a little bit and try to hopefully find a happy medium for what some people in the township want, what the county wants, what they feel is the best thing, and we're gonna rework.
And what's the timeline?
I told them I would have a draft by their next supervisors meeting. So if they like the draft and they say, let's move forward with it, then they'll send it to county and county gets their time and it has to come back to you, which will probably be next month's meeting. If they say, yeah, we're not positive with this, maybe you tweak it and it moves off another month.
The question is, what's the urgency? Because what Rob put in his letter was, given that we're in this updating our plan, is
That would be a question more for Chris and the other supervisors. I mean, I think there's people that want it to be done. I don't know if the urgency is it has to be done tomorrow or it has to be done,
We're not asking it for any specific person, however, we do wanna have, I think by the end of the year, so, if it takes a couple months to work through to do the right thing. We just don't wanna get rid of all of conservation by design. We're also in favor of, we recognize Mickey's soil is totally different than my soil, right? And so that's why mine's really good for conservation, but Mickey has real soil. And so we wanna make sure that we're addressing all these issues and anyone else that has those issues, right? So we're just trying to make sure that we do it prudently. I shouldn't use myself as an example, I apologize.
yeah, that's an example.
It's the land I know, right? It's the soils that I know, so I know what they do.
But is it that we're opening up those two areas for development?
No, I don't think so. Do you think we're open?
I haven't seen what you
Yeah.
proposed to write yet, so.
I mean, that's part of that was some of the stuff that was in your letter. And
It's,
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
Just-
if the township had moved forward and adopted what was proposed, that language would have enabled over the entirety of the AR and the C districts, wall-to-wall subdivision of
Right.
property, at whatever size, acre and a half in size. And without the conservation of any rural features. It would have enabled, if somebody could find all the perks or do a sewer system or whatever, there's that dependency as well. But you could do, a suburban looking large lot subdivision, all monoculture grass, no rural features, or at least, build up to the rural features. And it would, it would dramatically change the landscape, the rural landscape that I think most of the people that live in the township, know and respect. So I mean, that was our, that was our concern and why we expressed that, if you're gonna make that change now, let's look at the comp plan first and decide if that's really what we want to do for that, do within that area. Because if you make that change, it's gonna sort of drive the comprehensive plan rather than the other way around. Your comprehensive plan is supposed to drive your zoning implementation and other implementation work. And so if you'd made that change, you'd be sort of pigeonholing yourself into accepting, large lot suburban looking development as a potential outcome. It's not a guaranteed outcome, but a potential outcome of what that zoning language would have enabled, which we would not support in the rural areas of your township, and neither the county comprehensive plan nor the current Southwest Adams Joint Comprehensive Plan would support, as a policy recommendation. So I mean that was the relationship with, should we be timing this with our comprehensive plan? If the preferred solution at this point is to, sort of repackage the AR and the C districts, while keeping, sort of the core elements of conservation by design or conservation subdivision, whatever terminology you want to use is, and retaining some of the rural features conservation, land and otherwise. That becomes less of an issue because you're still retaining that tool that actually the comprehensive plan currently recommends. And there's a specific policy recommendation in the current Southwest plan that says, and I almost want to get the word right. Well, I'm not finding the specific language from the there's a reference in the Southwest plan to saying, in the rural areas of the township, you should use some sort of zoning technique, whether it's smart growth or conservation subdivision or whatever. You should use some sort of technique to, in the rural areas to ensure that some amount of the rural features are conserved. That the rural landscape is addressed. I mean, and again, if I wasn't, if I could go back and look at, find my letter precisely, I could find the language. Conservation and smart growth techniques. That's a specific phrase from the comp plan recommends. That relates to the type of zoning techniques you use in the setting, in the rural settings. That language was put in because the township had already decided to use conservation subdivision techniques in the rural settings, and so the comp plan that was drafted in 2014 carried that forward and recommended that be continued. And so that's still a policy recommendation of the plan in terms of how to implement the rural goals throughout the majority of the township. So like I said, the concern that we had was if you just go ahead and just completely gut from the A and the AR and the C districts, the technique that the comp plan recommends, for use in that area to ensure that there's some degree of conservation, then that decision is driving your comprehensive planning decisions rather than the other way around. That was the main crux of our recommendation on that timing. Now, you also said that you could use the comprehensive planning process to help identify the types of techniques that you might find to be suitable in the different rural areas of the township. And you know, if you wanted to delay implementation of, you know, changes to the AR and the C districts while the comprehensive planning process is done, you might be able to more fully evaluate what type of techniques might be appropriate in the different types of settings. I mean, the eastern half of the township is completely different from the western half of the township in terms of its land use mix, its topography, its land cover, and so forth. And you might want to use different techniques in those different areas. You know, or it might just be conservation by design, or something similar, with a slightly different focus area in those two settings. I mean, I don't know, but you know, that was the comments that we had on the timing issue. Less, like I said, less concerned if the idea is just to, you know, sort of repackage the, you know, conservation by design process to make it more usable, understandable, meeting the township's conservation goals, rather than getting it. So less concern from that perspective if that's what the township wants to do in the short term.
You guys feel free to ask questions. So, I mean, initially when I read the one that was put in here, my initial reaction was, how does that, the whole wormhole development, what would happen if you approved that? Could they actually add more houses in there? Or are we preventing another one from coming in? That's where the community was really.
Well, yeah, I mean, the wormhole situation, and I'm not fully up to date on in terms of what its current status is, in terms of whether that's still a plan that can move forward. But the big part of that, the design that came across as a part of the settlement agreement from back in mid 2000s, that would not be able to be pursued if it was being pursued now under the current language.
Right.
It's more density than what the current language would allow, and less open space
But if
conservation.
that amendment hadn't passed,
Yeah.
then that would have changed.
Yeah, well, if the new zoning hadn't been put in the mid 2000s, I forget when it was, 2009 or something, whenever it was, and the old zoning had been kept, then all bets were off in terms of what could have been done anywhere in the township. I mean, the previous zoning ordinance was very permissive in terms of development types and potential density and so forth. And the very type of project that could have resulted from that original zoning ordinance was the Wormhole PRD that the township tried to deny and went to settlement to get a project with lesser units. That original project, like I said, would not be possible under the current zoning. You could get residential development with a fair number of dwelling units, but it would be coupled with nestled into conserved open space areas. Under the current language, and I assume under what will be the revised language as well.
But that's the whole thing, is revised language, yes.
Yeah.
can't get too loose because we could get
Yeah,
Same thing.
the
And then
concern with, now, the concern that I had, or that we had with the revision, and I said, we could have resolved in a subdivision that was, wall to wall, large lots, what used to be called big mansion style lots. That would have been a lotting pattern, for those of you that remember the plans that were in the Liberty Valley project. There's actually two plans. There was the PRD, the big one centered on Track Road in front and Wenshaw. And then there was this other piece of property that fronts on Petra. And there was a the secondary project called Liberty Estates. That was essentially lots that were an acre and a half. They were going to be served by public sewer, I guess, but it was an acre and a half lots, and I guess there was some open space that was going to be retained and provided to the township as a recreation park or something akin to that. But not many people I think like the Liberty Estates layout because it just consumed most of the land into large acre and a half lots. That's the very lotting pattern that the revised AR district would have enabled, and then it would have enabled that without the recreation land that was part of the Liberty Estates project.
I remember going to those meetings. Does anybody know what the status is right now? Everybody mentions it and everybody
I
focuses
don't
on
know.
no idea what the status is
I don't know.
of Walmart and all of that.
Oh, what status is that?
He's just hanging.
I mean, there's that settlement agreement there. I guess it all depends on whether the township and the developer view that settlement agreement is still in effect. I don't know. I'm not a party to it. The county's not a party to it, so I don't have a whole lot of direct knowledge in terms of where that stands.
But with
I
the
don't know
current
if the
ordinance,
supervisors have talked about that recently or not.
I know some stuff, I don't know, there's not, I'll just say there's not a lot of activity,
Yeah.
and most everything is expired.
Okay.
So besides that, there's nothing that's been raised, they just sort of, that's why it's not a lot of information, I just said that most of the permits have all expired, and we haven't heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had the sense they periodically do activity just to keep it.
Yeah,
Just
Do
to
they
say,
own the
hey,
property?
we've done something with
Well, actually, I think the ownership has changed, like, one of the initial partners, or, I don't know, but it's
you couldn't know.
not clear,
We should
They look
actually
very
probably take a
varied.
pause.
Okay, I was curious.
not clear.
I know over the past, a couple, 3, 4 years, I mean, I've heard that they've communicated with the township on, we're still working on the sewer plant, and we're still working on the transportation study that's needed to support the
And
project.
and the horse, there will be horse things, won't there? Yes.
So,
I mean, about a year ago, give or take, they wanted to revise the Act 537 plan. And we reviewed what they presented to us, we gave them comments, and haven't heard from them since.
Okay. So appropriating in the background a little bit, okay.
I'm very willing to work.
But I'm not so much concerned about that.
I don't even know if it's a simmer.
Okay, that's good. No, I was
It's
just,
like lukewarm tea.
and anyway, what you're saying is that this, it's not possible.
It's not so much that particular thing, it's that whatever's done with the current ordinance, we don't want it to relax to the point
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you're gonna wind up having the community raise up and get in another lawsuits, and we wanna keep protections
Yeah.
against
Yes,
that kind of
yes,
development.
yes.
Yeah, so, even if the township had adopted what was just recently proposed, it wouldn't have gone all the way back to what could have been done with the Liberty Valley PRD, particularly on the denser side, the track road side. you might get, you could potentially do parcels like the Liberty Estates component, the piece that ran up and down, Petra, which, was also not very highly,
Yeah.
supported, in terms of the neighboring property owners, from my understanding,
That was
yeah,
a slightly-
here through the grapevine.
Got it, okay, so there was a bit of a side that was slightly off subject here, I was curious.
So
Well, I'm just gonna say that having read your letter and realising what we'd sort of approved earlier, and realising that, I mean, I don't have a background in planning, but the tightening up of the language, the tightening up of specifics and definitions does seem super important, so, yeah, I mean, I remember asking you, and you said, well, with the normal, sort of setbacks and everything, you couldn't have rampant sprawling sort of development, but in fact you sort of could. The language did need to be tightened up somewhat. Well, the very fact
I
you're
don't know
strong
if
means
it's,
that
I
you
don't know
must
if
be-
it's, I don't know if I would say we need to tighten up to stop more development. I think there's just a lot of stuff in there that, one, has never been utilized by any developer over the past 20 years that we sort of want to remove, because it's just wasting trees and paper, because no one uses it. I think, yeah, we're gonna tighten up for the prime ag soils. We're going to keep or continue using the adjusted track approach.
So can you just remind me what the adjusted track approach is?
Basically what I call the junk land, meaning wetlands, steep slopes, right of ways, things like that, a stream. It's not junk as in no one likes to see a stream, but we don't count that acreage on someone's parcel as to relate it to the density. So if you have 100 acres and you go by density, you say just
Usable.
usable land, right? So if you have 100 acres and you say your density is 1-to-1, they put 100 homes on. What the adjusted tract approach does is it removes the right-of-way acreage, the stream acreage, all the acreage that you can't actually utilize.
Which is of course part of the rural
Right.
nature.
So then you might go from 100 acres, some properties could go from 100 acres to 50 acres, some could go from 100 acres to 99 acres. Okay, it's whatever property, and then you base your density off that. So if you went from 100 acres to 80 acres, now we're only allowing you 80 homes instead of the 100.
Okay.
Okay? Because again, so in the past, and I know Rob's seen it, and it wasn't necessarily this township. Townships would just blanketly say, preserve 30% of your land. And every developer would come in and go, sure. And the 30% they preserved was the wetlands, the streams, the
Okay, got it.
all the
Thank you for clarifying.
all the quote unquote developer junk that, and we're like,
Really
so,
undeveloped land.
right, so it's like we got nothing out of it. You used up all the good land and we got all the stuff you couldn't
Okay.
build on
Thank
anyway.
you. Yeah, no, I understand the clarification. Thank you.
But those lands are also, you could argue, the most important areas to conserve in terms of protecting rural character.
Exactly, as I said, yes, they are
Wooded,
streams and wetlands.
wooded areas, streams,
Marsh,
wetlands,
yes, wetlands, yes,
and so forth.
yes.
Because a lot of those areas host the vegetation and the landscapes that make a rural area look rural.
Thank you.
Now, I will say, even though it's a minor part, we did have the retreat center that's still gonna come in. Rob or county had about 2 or 3 comments regarding it, and we've looked at them and they seem to make sense, and we're probably just going to add in what county suggested. Again, there's no hubbub about that, it's just sort of getting added on with this amendment because of second chance. So,
Well, the one comment I did have, I didn't mean but not written, is that if we're doing retreat centers and conservation, we should also be doing that.
okay,
Because you have the Middle Creek Retreat Center as part of our property, or part of our township anyway. So,
half of it is in there, you're right,
so,
half of it isn't.
I think that needs to be in both areas.
I'll mark that down. I'll probably put it in and allow the supervisors to decide if we just keep it in one. Half of that Bible center is in your township. Now the kicker is, practicality wise, because I also represent Freedom, the treatment facility and all the stuff that they actually utilize or did in the past is all in Freedom. You have
The junk section.
the undeveloped
Yeah,
section.
I'm just kidding. I just brought that.
Well, talking about a property with a lot of constraints, I mean, probably half of that property is wetlands.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's not officially a retreat center, but you've also got part of the monastery, which is sort of a retreat center. So I think it's logical that it
Yeah, I
goes
mean,
into both.
That's really a place of worship, so. You know,
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not, but.
But no, I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but, yeah. I mean, in terms of its impact and its function, it might be a little bit similar, but from a land use perspective, it's a place of worship. And has the federal protections that places of worship.
But if they did close it and somebody decided to buy it, they could turn it to a retreat center.
Probably.
It'd be perfect for it.
Probably.
Again, that's another one. It's
Yeah.
half in another township.
I know that.
And they're gonna be building it for 100 years.
And all the fun that goes along with that.
I know.
But
The
I-
building's right down.
But it's one of those things, if you're gonna do it, like if somebody wanted to build a retreat center.
Yeah, I did not think about the Bible camp when we
Yeah.
started that. We're,
Well, and you brought up standardising with other things too, that between ag and conservation, things should be standardised, which makes sense.
Well, yeah, that gets back into the one that we just passed, for the, I think it was that one.
the 10 acres and less, we don't do nothing.
No,
That's one that
no,
was
I was
just
trying to
passed.
remember which of the amendments were. Oh, that was the data centers,
Yeah.
where we were defining specific things, and I was like, outdoor lighting on a commercial facility should be like standard, or there should be categories of facilities, rather than spelling the lighting standard out specifically for a data center,
Agreed.
which is not just private, so. Is there any more discussion, people?
So, where are we at with this discussion?
Well, at this point, I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's,
just
I think
That was just information.
that was just information,
Yes,
there's no motion or anything that
Okay,
needs to be
good.
made.
Just clarify.
So, if there's no other questions for Rob or Don, then somebody can make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Did I hear you quietly second back there?
Yes, it did.
Very quietly.
And it is 7:17. Oh, this is going to be easier than last meeting. Forever. Oh my God.
That was.
Well, and then actually, Sherry,
Yeah, I mean,
they are and that she'd sent to me to clarify them. And I thought, well, actually, I could get all of Sherry's comments and put that through that.
They thought this, we're gonna get one.
Well, they get one, people
So
put on
the
the
letter
internet
from
that
Brittany
it
that
was
we
going
got
to be in the
right
wrong
before
zone.
we here today.
So the smartest thing to do was
Was that Brittany's letter we got right at the last minute?
point to the
No,
map
no.
and say, this is where it's gonna go.
No, no, no.
Oh, this is
There's
our.
a bit going on about that.
Oh, yeah.
And
It was more or
there's
less.
90% of the comments were.
That was,
Very similar to yours.
yeah, that was your zoning officer, you got comments regarding the proposed
Right,
amendment.
very much agreeing with all your
Yeah.
comments. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure that
Just come out
I.
after you.
We got this like four o'clock discussion.
I think they were requested to provide the comments, we felt it was known that they were
So noted.
removing and rewriting.
Maryland.
So it's all somewhat in motion, yeah, very good.
Carroll Valley Borough.
So Rob, you got a date for the next?
Not yet, we're gonna be finalizing that within a day or so.
And do we let them go?
And I apologise for all my questions, but I like answers.
Can't get answers unless you ask questions.
And you may all be familiar with all these issues.
So,
And
but
Chris,
if,
I have to
and
apologise.
Chris and Mickey did.
Spelling your name wrong for so long. Nobody